Whoa! Whoa! Terrible, 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 terrible.
Does the insurer of the car have to pay for the damages to the bank, and will it cover the damage to the insured person's vehicle? The answer is probably yes to both, with an extremely small chance of the answer being no to both. Before we get into the detail of how the claims will work, if you enjoy my claim explanation videos, do make sure to hit the follow button. In this clip, the driver of the Nissan Juke floors it up onto the pavement, colliding with a bench that had a pedestrian sat on it, and then accelerates through the shop facade, eventually coming to a stop in the foyer of the bank. It is believed that the driver suffered a medical episode, so it is likely that they were intending on setting off to the left before the incident happened. When it happened, their foot is likely pressed down fully on the throttle of an automatic car, which resulted in what we saw in the video. The most likely outcome of this incident is that the owner's car will be repaired or written off by the insurance company depending on the level of damage. The insurer will also be responsible for the costs of rectifying the damage to the bank as well, along with any other costs such as security if it needs to be hired to make the building secure temporarily. There will be temporary repairs that will be made at the front to board up the front of the shop, loss of use of the space that is damaged. If the shop needs to close for repairs, there will be loss of revenue and profit, and various other expenses that the bank will be able to claim. Now, if the medical event that happened is completely sudden, unforeseen and unpredictable, it could be classed as an automatism event in which the insurance company wouldn't be liable for third-party losses because the driver wasn't negligent for the damage that was caused. It is extremely rare that such an event would actually occur, and when I mean rare, in my 15 years in insurance claims, 8 of those being a claim handler balancing 600 to 800 claims at one time in a department that would be balancing 20 to 40,000 claims at one time. I successfully defended a claim due to a medical automatism event 3 times, and I've seen it happen probably less than a dozen times in total. That is because medical episodes are very rarely classed as an automatism event because they're nearly always linked to past or current medical issues, or they've had symptoms before driving, which means it wasn't completely unforeseen. As an example, the sharp pain in the arm prior to a heart attack or the burning sensation in the head during a stroke. If you felt those before driving, then the event wasn't sudden or unforeseen. If you are to want to defend it as an automatism event, you would need to have your policyholder willing to attend court and give evidence to help the defence. You need to have a copy of their entire medical history, along with a confirmed diagnosis by a doctor that the medical event was completely and utterly unforeseen and that there's no way the driver could have known that that medical event would occur. Now, if the driver wasn't supposed to be driving, for example they were told not to drive by a doctor or were awaiting permission from the DVLA to drive again, then they wouldn't be covered because they shouldn't be driving the car at that time. Third-party claims are entitled to be made if this is the case, but the insurer will try looking to the driver for those costs if this is the case.